Audible offers an incredible selection of audiobooks across every genre.
As an Audible member, you can choose one title a month to keep from their entire catalog. The time is now, more than ever, to embrace the breathtaking, sinister, and shocking tales that have enthralled you, especially with brand new exclusive thrillers from best-selling authors who are guaranteed to keep you gripped.
Right now, one thing that I'm very interested in taking a listen to is The Daughters of Block Island, which is currently #1 on the mystery, thriller, and suspense list. So that is definitely going into my queue. New members can try Audible free for 30 days.
Visit audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500. That's audible.com/crappens or text crappens to 500-500.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah, Randy?
Since we founded Bombas, we've always said our socks, underwear, and T-shirts are super soft. Any new ideas?
Maybe sublimely soft.
Or disgustingly cozy.
Wait, what?
I got it. Bombas. Absurdly comfortable essentials for yourself
And for those facing homelessness.
because one purchased equals one donated.
Wow, did we just write an ad?
Yes.
Bombas. Big comfort for everyone. Go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code WONDERY for 20% off your first purchase.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is part 2 of a 2-part recap. If you're wondering where part 1 was, well, go check in the feed and be sure to subscribe so that way you always get your episodes. But enough of that. Let's get right back into the episode. So Ellie and Schwartz and Joe were talking, and Ellie has this to say. It feels like New Year's, but it's not. Well, so congratulations. Calendar Insights, a new podcast by Ellie. It feels like Easter, but it's not Easter. Thank you for listening.
Wow, Allie, you look so fabulous. Joseph, you look fabulous too. Joseph, do you feel good? She's like, yeah, it's like pre-concussion. I just saw the future. I saw that in your birth chart. So she's like, yeah, and see, Money, you look fabulous. You look really good. You look so good. You look good enough to eat. Not that I would do that because we're not dating, and also I don't eat humans because I'm not sick. Well, maybe I am. Would I eat you? Does anyone have any ketchup? I'm just kidding. Give me your arm. Just kidding. That was really good.
Oh, that was really scary. Anyway, I'm so glad you came, Joseph. Hey, why don't you come over to the Lion's Den, okay? Don't you want to be humiliated on TV? It'll be fun. She's like, oh, no, I don't really like negative energy. I think I have to have a concussion to enjoy that. Wait, hold on one second. All right, I'm concussed. Let's do it.
They're not negative. Wait, hold on. ... Can we have a cutaway, please? So like cut to Katie, like.
Yeah, don't worry, they're not negative. Oh, well, I mean, a little bit negative. I mean, sometimes negative. Well, I mean, but if you didn't have negatives, you wouldn't be able to take good pictures, right? So come on, let's do it. Oh, all right. Okay. So Joe is like Ronnie watching this episode. I just really want this to be over. I'm hoping that if I can say I'm sorry, she'll say sorry back. And like, I don't know. By the way, something you should never hope from Katie, that if I say sorry, she'll say sorry back. Poor Joe. She must have had her concussion already. She goes, I don't know if she hates me because of Schwartz. The answer is yes. We don't have to finish the sentence. And my connection. But like, he could date a tree and she'd chop it down. So like, good luck, next woman or tree. Or a woman tree. Or the grandmother from Into the Woods who appears as a tree. Good luck.
Oh my God. Well, this is another thing, like I was talking about the Ariana and Tom situation. Like, why are you guys forcing it? Why are you making Joe fly all the way to San Francisco to get yelled at by Katie? Like, this was
This was
would
so
never
cruel.
happen. Tom broke up with her. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, Joe isn't a part of this friend group. I don't understand what they're doing. I mean, if they're making Joe a permanent part of the cast or whatever, maybe, but I don't really understand. It just doesn't make any sense.
It was cruel.
Right?
So Brad is sitting with Katie. Brad is like one of the gays, and he's sitting with Katie and is watching as Schwartz and Joe are approaching, and Brad goes, "Ah, here comes my favorite cracked out person." I'm like, you're cracked out. You're dressed like an egg yolk. This is a black tie party, and you're wearing all yellow, and you're gonna accuse someone else of looking like a cracked out person. You literally look like a cracked egg.
You're just like a gay following orders, and I don't like that. I don't like seeing order following gays on these shows. I'm so sick of it, and not just this one, but all of Bravo shows. It seems like Bravo's like, you know what we need? Some order following gays. Let's get us 5 gays who just follow orders of straight people. That's all I want to see on my channel. Damn it! Like, where are independent gays? Where are Reza gays? Okay. Where are our Reza Queen gays who do not take orders from anybody, okay? From watching this, you'd think gays are just a bunch of fucking Muppets with bleach blonde hair, okay? I'm sick of it. Stop following orders, gays. We're better than this.
All
Not
the gays
you, though.
that are independent, throw your hands up at me.
Okay, so, yeah, he's like, gross, crackhead. So then Joe comes over, and Schwartz is like, whoa, you guys, Joe. Yay, it's Joe. Look at it's Joe, everybody.
Joseph,
and Brad's
you
like,
wanna
I
say
am
something?
bleeding.
Yeah, they're just like, so Schwartz just forces Joe into this confrontation, and Joe's like, well, Katie, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say, like, I'm sorry if I ever hurt you. And Katie, of course, goes, sorry if. And I have to say, I'm a little over the semantics policing of sorry if versus sorry that. Honestly, it was something that, like, we used to make a big deal about, like, sorry if it's a conditional apology. Fuck you, it should just be an apology. But at this point, I'm actually over it. I think we as humans, it's time for us to accept that when someone says, if I did this and it upset you, then I'm really sorry. That it's like, it's an apology. It's not like someone saying, if I did this, but if I didn't do it, then I'm not sorry. I think it's time for people to, like, finally.
I reject that.
Well, if
I love you.
If that offended you, Ronnie, then I'm sorry. But I just
and
think
this is how I reject it. I'm sorry I reject that, and this is why I'm rejecting that. That's how you need to apologize.
I agree that's a better apology.
This
It
is
does not
2024. We have literally
invalidate.
been trained. We have been trained for years now how to apologize properly. You have to list shit you are sorry for. You have to be like, I'm sorry that I did not consider your feelings when hooking up with Schwartz. I was so in love with Schwartz and infatuated. We became friends, then we became lovers. I became so infatuated with him. I didn't care about anyone's feelings but my own, and you got hurt in the crossfire. I'm not really expecting anything from you, but I wanted you to know that I'm sorry because I carry it around all the time, and I really, truly am sorry. That's how you apologize. Not, I'm sorry if I hurt you. What the fuck does that mean? You better.
It's nice to
I have
see you taking
receipts.
Katie's side. I think that the reason why I have an issue, I think sorry that is a better apology, but sorry if it just opens the door for an actual apology, a moment of, like, trying to connect with someone with an apology to get derailed in semantics. Because instead of it being like, I'm trying to express that I have remorse about a situation, and it, like, if the person says if instead of that, and then all of a sudden we have a discussion about if versus that, and just as this happened literally right now in this moment, then it gets derailed. It becomes a topic about something else and not about the apology. So I'm just sick
those
of
are
it. I'm sick of
different
having to
things.
watch people like these moments that could have been like an apology moment where there could be progress, and it gets derailed because someone goes, if, what about that? That's not how you apologize. And then you're like, okay, now it's a conversation about how you apologize.
Oh, yeah, because it is, how you hurt me. It's not like, I'm sorry if I hurt you. Like, whatever, just get over it. I'm sorry you're hurt by the nothing that I did. Like, I need a fucking list, and I need you to write it down in an email so I can forward it to everybody I know. I need the lawyers to have it. I need everybody to know, especially on Bravo, because I feel like really, especially on Vanderpump Rules, because look how many versions of people come out. It's like, look at Jax, the king of the I'm sorry's. Like every year he has a new version of Jax that he is. I mean, he's still doing it on the Valley. Like, I mean, like, I'm sorry, but I'm changing. I'm different. I'm working on myself. He literally says that this week. I'm working on myself, though. I'm trying to change.
Of course.
He's still saying that all these years later.
Yeah, it's classic. Yeah, I don't know.
I also have to say, we're arguing right now about this just because it's fun and, like, frankly, I'm bored. But I have to say, Ben, you are such a good person and such a good friend, and you do not apologize with a sorry if. If there is, and first of all, you very rarely ever owed me an apology, but whenever you've given one, it has never been a like, sorry if you're upset, Ronnie. It's never been like that. You are very good at being like, I'm sorry that this, and this hurt your feelings. I see that it did, and this is what I was thinking. And I've never met a better communicator than you, so I'm surprised that you're sticking up for the sorry if.
You know why? Well, first of all, thank you. But you're also a good apologizer. But again, we don't really ever have to apologize to each other that much. So,
Let's face it.
I think there is a difference. I do think there's a difference between saying like, I'm sorry if you feel sad. That feels insincere to me. But if you're saying something from the tone of like, I think there's like an implication in a tone of saying like, I didn't even realize what I was doing was offending you. And like, if it did offend you, well then absolutely, I'm totally sorry. Like if it didn't, then I guess like we don't have anything to apologize for because everything is good. But like if what I did like hurt you, then oh my goodness, I would feel terrible about that. I didn't even think about that. So I just feel like it's just a subtlety. I think that where you put the if in the sentence can have a totally different tone. I do think saying that I apologize that I did this is like a better apology, and it's stronger, and it really it presents more accountability. But I just think that like the moment it's become such a thing that the moment that someone says if, when you can tell that they're genuinely trying to really apologize, it just is one of those things where then it becomes an argument about tone and semantics as opposed to like what the substance of what someone's trying to say. And as we know, this conversation between Joe and Katie was going to be very, very substantial. So I'm really glad that I really stopped the entire podcast to discuss the semantics of this.
No, it's okay.
I don't
it's
like
interesting.
the semantics.
I like stuff like that.
I like talking
about. I like talking about stuff like that. But here's the reason that this kind of bugged me with Katie getting all defensive about it is because I really want to know what really happened here, because we don't really know. And I don't know how much is just Katie's feelings, because from what we've seen, the evidence has been Katie showing us a text that said, Joe saying, Katie, I'm so sorry. You're such a queen. I'm sorry about your relationship. Please call me if you ever need to. And then we saw that Katie never even wrote her back a thank you or anything like that. And then we see another text where Katie writes back finally and says, girl, what's up with you? 1 minute you want to say sorry, and the next minute you want to cut his hair, or whatever she did. Like you want a hair model or whatever the text is. I don't have it in front of me. But it looked like to me that Joe was trying to be Katie's friend, and Katie was like, fuck this weirdo, and then told off Joe. So to me, it looked like this girl doesn't really owe you that much anyway. That's the initial vibe. So I'm just curious to see what this was. So I hope it all gets out on the table in this conversation.
Well, so I mean, also it's like, was Joe, like, we don't really understand truly the connection of Katie and Joe as friends. So like, Katie is acting as if it were, Kristen or Stassi or someone who had betrayed her. But like Joe, we never even heard about Joe until last season. So
Joe was supposedly, from what I've heard, and this is from, listen, this is like the Marvel extended universe of 18 million podcasts, 9 after shows, multiple, like there's so many things to keep up with. But from what I've read on Reddit, my favorite is that Joe was one of Kristen's friends. And she kind of wormed her way into the group that way. And then when she was dating, when Katie and Tom broke up, she kind of jumped on that and started hooking up with Tom, and then completely ghosted Kristen. Now, that's according to Kristen. Who knows, because Kristen is Kristen. But that's what I read on the internets.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All I can go off of right now are vibes. And I just feel like Joe, I don't know what's going. I think that Joe was trying to be. It seems like Joe was trying to be like sympathetic or nice to Katie, but didn't really seem like they had much of like a friendship or whatever and whatever. So anyway, she's
Seems
basically
like Joe got onto this show from dating Tom Schwartz. They're trying to make Joe a thing. They're not letting her be a thing, which I don't know that I can really blame them. They're always a little like that with new people anyway, much less controversial ones like this. And it's just awkward. And so they're kind of throwing her into the lion's den and just being like, well, go over there and have a confrontation. We need something to happen. And it's just, I don't know that this person is really prepared for that, you know?
no. Joe was not ready. I think Joe was.
It's just like
I
putting
think
a
Joe
baby
was
on
ready
a
to-
freeway.
I think Joe was anticipating that she'd be talking to like, you know, a chill person, and so she's like, I'm sorry if I ever hurt you, and Katie does the sorry if, and Joe goes, yeah, and Katie goes, it's not a sorry if, it's just a sorry. So Joe goes, okay, I'm really sorry. Katie goes, it's weird. You're weird. I was like, whoa, that's like, Katie's being so mean right now. And Lala goes, don't say that, okay? And Katie goes, all right, it is what it is. It is what it is. Joe goes, well, do you feel like you owe me an apology? Katie goes, no.
Come on, you have to admit you laughed at that shit. I started cracking up at that part. It's like, Joe. It's like, Joe, no. Turn back, Joe. You're really going to go up to Katie and ask for an apology? Oh, my God. Girl, no. So she's like, yeah, but, like, I sent you, like, a genuine text about the divorce, Katie. I mean, it was genuine. It was a text. It was a genuine text. Like, there weren't even any emojis in it.
Yeah. She's like, I literally used some data on you. Katie goes, yeah. And then something grew there. And then you asked like, do I stay with him or whatever? And like, can I stay with him? And Joe's like, that's not how it happened. Laws, you know, the way that you moved, it's like you were texting him, like you were texting and saying like, oh, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to go move with him now. So it's like weird. It's how you moved.
But she never moved in with me. She never technically moved in with. What are you guys talking about? She didn't move in with me. Well, I was like, it doesn't matter. You guys still stayed together and had sex. And then you're texting Katie like, I'm so sorry about your divorce. And she goes, no, that was like months. There were like months between all of these things that were happening. And I wish I had a space to explain that. Cause like, I mean, that's what I feel bad about. Okay, well, this is what I wanted to know, because they're making it sound like she was like, Katie, I'm so sorry about your divorce, either while she was fucking Tom or while she was trying to jump on Tom and fuck him. But Joe is saying that there were months between that happening and then her befriending and then eventually sleeping with Tom. So that's what I wanted to know, but it never really gets there.
Katie's like, well, I feel like you've always had it for him and you were waiting for your moment. And Lala's like, I don't believe that. So Ariana's just like watching, and she's just confused. Like, why is Schwartz bringing this girl around Katie? Like, because it doesn't make any sense. Like, this is not a confrontation that needed to be had. And it's just Schwartz just getting off, I think, on these two women fighting over him.
I think we're just watching Jeremiah tap dancing, because we see producer Jeremiah later, who's trying to force the Tom and Ariana scene because he's supposed to. He's supposed to make the season finale happen. And basically their idea to make the season finale happen is to throw chum at these girls and watch the girls yell at the guys. It's supposed to be like the big girls. The girls get revenge on the guys by letting them have it, but then everybody forgives each other and we all move on. But it's just like, they're not playing this game. They're like, why the fuck should we have to do this? I shouldn't have to shoot with this chick, and I shouldn't have to shoot with my ex. Find something else to do.
Yeah. So Katie's like, next time when you want to love and support someone going through a divorce, don't move in with her ex-husband. And Joe's like, I didn't move in. We just had sex. Katie's like, fine. Don't stay with him for 2 weeks. How is couch surfing? Don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't surf on a couch. Don't you know why you're getting concussions? You're sitting on couches and falling off. Don't fucking do it. Stay with someone else. Stay with someone else. Literally go anywhere else, Joe.
And then Joe's like, no. Just let him go. And then this part, I was like, okay, good for you. Fucking finally. So Joe grew some, you know? I was like, fuck off. Like, no, you don't get to just, I mean, this was weird because I had multiple feelings. Because at one, I'm like, finally, she just stood up for herself and was like, you don't get to call dibs on a man forever. You're the one who dumped him, you know? But then seeing how hurt Katie was, I was like, you see, this is like, you want it. It's like you leave somebody and you finally get it up to leave them, but you still want that guy to turn around and be like, okay, I learned something. And it's like a whole different chapter of hurt when the guy is like, okay, now I'm fucking Kristen's friend, the hairdresser, you know?
Right. So Katie is like, Joe, you're a fucking liar. And Schwartz is like, she's not a liar. And now at this point, Joe's crying. She's like way out of her depths, you know? And Lala's like, no, don't worry. Don't cry. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. Lala is basically like in the corner of like the boxing ring, like giving Joe some water, like patting down her face, tending to her wounds, like, get back in there. Come on. You got another round. You can do this. You can do this. You're not knocked out yet. Come on. Come on.
Yeah. Lala's like, come on. I'm the only one left to make an ass out of myself at this reunion, and I can't carry the whole things, okay? Or this finales. So Schwartz is like, yeah, Katie, come on, ease up a little, Katie. And she's like, hey, before you think this is weird, I'm going to stay with your ex-husband who you're not divorced yet from, and you're probably untangling your fucking life from, and this is probably a difficult time for you. Well, you know what? You should have texted her back. That's what I say. Because if you had texted her back and been like, thanks, Joe, that's such a sweet text. But when you didn't text her back, I think she was like, well, I tried. Bye. Now I'm going to go fuck Tom.
Yeah. I mean, I understand why Katie's annoyed. I fully get it. But like, I think also like it's time to move on from this. Okay. So Joe is like, well, I wasn't thinking about you. I was thinking about myself because, and as a woman, you should have thought about me as tenuous friends as we were. And so Schwartz was like,
yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think she even has to move on. I think if you don't like someone that your ex is fucking, that's your right. She's just not friends with Joe. I just don't understand what the show is doing, try to make this scene even happen. Like, this just would never happen. You would never go confront the ex of the guy that just dumped you. This is a bizarre setup in the first place.
yeah. Schwartz like, she just came over to make peace, not to confront. I'm like, you came over to confront, actually. And Katie's like, I don't want peace. Well, you know, you can't argue with her on that. She's like, I don't want peace. So you can't be upset with Katie. She literally is achieving all of her goals, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
and
Joe
like,
leaves
I don't even
crying.
know this person. So Joe leaves crying, you know, as we all knew she would. And so Schwartz is like, oh, she just wanted to chat. She feels really uncomfortable. Now I'm going to have to go break up with her again. So she's got something else to cry about and doesn't have something unsolvable to cry about like your rage, Katie. And she's like, I don't give a shit about how she feels. Her feelings are none of my business. He's like, oh, God, Katie.
She's like, I told you this. You want to be my friend? Then keep it away from me. I don't like ultimatums or quid pro quos. She's like,
It's a quid pro quo. Okay, Clarice.
I don't know. I was about to say, oh, the silence of the Schwartz. But Katie's like, she's like, I didn't give you an ultimatum. I just said, keep her away from me.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial. The CDC estimates that approximately 96 million American adults, more than 1 in 3, have prediabetes. Of those with prediabetes, more than 80% don't even know they have it.
Why does this matter? If you have prediabetes, sugar begins to build up in the bloodstream rather than fuel the cells. This is when insulin resistance occurs, which is believed to be the #1 cause of prediabetes.
A healthy weight allows insulin to work more efficiently and can help to keep blood sugars within a normal range.
Signos can help you short-circuit the cycle by using data directly from your body to design a weight loss plan that's unique to your lifestyle.
With Signos, you can literally see which foods cause your blood sugar to spike above reasonable levels and get real-time alerts to do a bit of exercise to bring them back down.
On average, people make about 227 food choices a day.
Learn the difference between stress eating and physical hunger.
Better manage your energy throughout the day and sleep better at night.
Listen, I've got some health stuff going on here. I've been on my weight loss journey for about a year now, and I need to track this stuff, so it's great to have something so simple to use.
Signos removes the guesswork of weight loss and provides you with the tools and knowledge needed to develop healthier habits. It combines your glucose data from the CGM or a continuous glucose monitor with an AI-driven app to deliver real-time glucose insights for optimal health and weight management.
Right now, Signos has an offer exclusively for our listeners. Go to Signos.com, that's SIGNOS.com, and get up to 20% off select plans by using code CRAPPENS today.
That's Signos.com and use code CRAPPENS to get up to 20% off select plans for you today.
This podcast is supported by FedEx. FedEx offers fast delivery, more visibility, simple returns, and weekend home delivery to 98% of the U.S. population on Saturday and 50% on Sunday. With FedEx, you get picture proof of delivery, ensuring you always know where your package is. Returns are simple with packageless and paperless returns. Plus, FedEx Ground is also faster to more locations than UPS Ground. See the FedEx service guide for delivery information. So, what are you waiting for? See what FedEx can do for your business. Absolutely, positively FedEx.
It's kind of funny because I was like, Katie was being so mean to Joe, but then at the end, I'm kind of like, I mean, that's a pretty simple request that she made at this.
Yeah, why does she have to like sit down and have lunch with Joe? It's so weird. I
Katie
mean, look,
and Ariana being
I
both
don't like
confronted with their exes.
I don't like the whole like sending your entire fandom after the girl and being like she's a crackhead and all that stuff. You know, like Katie does have moves that kind of suck, but as far as like the hanging out with Joe, like what does she have to sit and like have a powwow and forgive Joe and have like a big she doesn't even know Joe. She barely knows this girl. It's weird.
It just is more about Schwartz and not being comfortable being like amongst conflict. He just wants everyone to get along so he can film with everyone, or he just wants them to fight actually, and he can
I think he just wants to enrage Katie and have women fighting over him.
He wants to have either total peace
typical.
or total chaos.
Yeah.
It's one or the other. So Sandoval is now.
You only bring Joe around Katie to start shit, especially after you've already broken up with Joe. Like there's only one reason you're bringing her here.
Yeah.
Trigger Katie. Katie Chum.
Yep.
Shark Week.
So Sandoval is talking to Sheena and Lala, and Lala's like saying, she's again like, we had the best food today for lunch. Oh, I wish, like, I think that like in all the years of shooting Vanderpump Rules, I think the House of Nanking was the best food we've ever eaten in our lives. Wasn't it great, Sandoval? Oh, sorry, you weren't there. Sorry. They're just really rubbing salt in his House of Nanking wounds.
And Sandoval's like, Brock, I just wanted to say that Shorts told me you stood up for me today. I turned my light pink. That's the grateful color. So I really appreciate that, bro.
And he's like,
well, we're in the middle. We're not Switzerland. We're friends with both of you guys.
love your PayPal. Huge fans of that.
He's like, thanks, bro.
Because, yeah, well, what we need to see from you is to step up and be here for your friend. Shut up, Brock. But just be quiet. So then Sheena's like, yeah, I understand what he did to Ariana was terrible. I just wish that they, I just wish it wasn't so black and white so she could see how much I'm struggling. I'm just trying to be loyal to her. It's so hard and I don't want to lose her, but I feel like I'm losing myself.
Literally don't understand how she's losing herself in this. So now they're having more cocktails, and Schwartz is talking to Dan. He's like, hey, by the way, nice meeting you, dude. It was like really nice chilling with you earlier today. Are you guys gonna do something afterwards? You're not mad at me about making that trash comment at lunch today, really? Please don't beat me up. And Ariana's like, I think after this we're gonna go to Applebee's. I mean, I'm all about the Applebee's life right now. And like, yeah. And then Sandoval comes over, and Dan just is like, all right, Dan's just like giving him the evil eye, like, don't you dare come over here.
But he does, of course. And Ariana's like, oh my God, this is not happening. He's like,
oh, I was looking for you. Hey, it's me, Television Tom Sandoval. Wow. So, hey guys.
And they're just ignoring him. He's like,
Dan, hey, Dan. Just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Tom, penis flute, Schwartz's mom. Do I need to list my hits?
Hey, Dan, I got you this lightning bolt necklace. It's pretty cool. The person who originally had it doesn't want it anymore. So Tom puts out his hand to shake Dan's hand, and Dan does not receive it. So then Tom essentially does the equivalent of like putting his hand into his hair. He just sort of he tries to seem like he wasn't doing a handshake, whatever. And he's like, yeah, man, I heard you're a great guy, and I just want to say what's up and wish you guys the best of luck. So Dan's like,
appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Okay.
Appreciate that. Won't share any tips about CO2 and beer for you. Hope you get bloated, motherfucker. So Sandoval.
What did you say? What did you say to him? What did you say to Dan? Isn't he handsome? He has such long hair. He has such big arms. What did you say to him? I'm such a boy.
I just said. Sorry for interrupting you, Ben. I'm sorry if I interrupted you, Ben. I just said, nice to meet you, dude.
And Allie's like,
I'm not gonna lie, I got very nervous.
yeah, I feel like we need to leave now.
So yeah, and Ariana's Allie's like, wow, like Ariana, you just like looked down when he came over, and she's like, yeah, I was texting with Logan because Logan's at Beyonce right now.
Which is so funny because I remember when they were fighting, when she found out, and they were the last season finale when she was going off on him and he was, excusing himself for everything that happened and somehow blaming her. Like,
You never spend time with me. All you do is hang out with your gay guys and talk about Beyonce.
and so this one, she's ignoring him while she's texting her gay guy about Beyonce. And I was like, oh, it's just delicious, isn't it?
And probably actively getting an offer to make a guest appearance on Love Island too. The other thing that she does with her gays. So, Allie's like,
true.
Allie's like, I feel like that moment had to happen. Ariana's like, it doesn't have to happen at all. He's not in my life at all. And she tells us, I'm not here as a cog in the machine of Tom Sandoval's redemption arc. So you guys can do that without me. So
this was beautifully said, and I'm glad she said that. And I hope that every hater out there just hears that line, because that's really the whole point in this whole thing. It's like, you guys, if you want to make Tom Sandoval happen, go ahead. Stop fucking calling me about it.
Yeah, exactly. This must have been an absolutely hellacious season for her to shoot, having him shoved in her face scene after scene. So Schwartz goes up to Sandoval. Is like, by the way, I know you wanted to talk to Ariana, but I don't think now is a good time. There was this really awkward moment at the house of Nanking today. Oh God, that food was so good. Oh, sorry, but just don't talk to her. Don't talk to her. He's like, okay, all right. So now it's time for Sheena to get ready to do her singing. I nearly forgot that Sheena's doing a performance on this episode. So now she changes into her good as gold look. And Kyle gets on stage and he's like, are you guys all having a good time with my best friends, the cast of Vanderpump Rules, everyone? Woo! Just one of the bros.
Guess what? Here's somebody else who follows me on Instagram. You guys should follow her. Her name is Sheena Shea, and she has a song that people have probably heard called Good as Gold. And she's like, hi. Oh my God, everyone looks good as gold tonight. Wink.
Which I will not be singing. So Sandoval says some bullshit about how he's like, it's like, you know what? Like at first I really wasn't so crazy about the song Apples, but it's really growing on me. And like, I don't know. I'm like really stoked to see Sheena really pushing her music. And like, it's cool that like, I'm kind of the star of her music now. So yeah, I like it. So now we have Sheena singing.
Apples.
How you like them? Apples, 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 apples.
Yeah, I feel like I've fallen back in love with music because I was performing. This really means so much to me. And Tom's really stepped up and he helped us out when he didn't have to. Like before, we were just going to do this into paper cups that we cut the bottoms out of to use as microphones. But he brought us an audio person and he didn't have to. And he didn't even tell us he was doing that. It's crazy. Hopefully he continues down this path of bringing me sound engineers when I wasn't expecting them.
He's changing.
He's so different now.
So Ariana goes, like after the performance, Ariana goes over to hug Sheena and is like, oh my God, you killed it. And there's like they're toasting, cheers. And she's like, yeah, hey, do you know who Hassan is? And Ariana's like, no. She's, it's Sandoval's sound guy or whatever. Ariana's like, nope. Yeah, well, so Sandoval like flew out this like sound operator person to get like all the equipment and like maybe like fool me once, or twice, I don't know. But like I'm seeing like this genuine like hiring sound guy side of Sandoval to him that like I just feel like when I met Sandoval 15 years ago, I was like, this is the sort of guy that would just like hire a sound guy for you if you're ever playing on a private island in San Francisco. And like it kind of happened. So like, I don't know. I think it like maybe like he's like changing or something.
Oh my God, fuck off. And Ariana's eyes just say it all. She's like, I will kill you right now. Like, just shut up.
Yeah, and I'm hoping he's changing. He's becoming a better person. Like, I just want to test it out. Like, I'm gonna take him to that like Frank Sinatra karaoke club and just see if he suggests anybody hand me the mic.
So Ariana's like, it's just the same thing over with Sheena. And I don't know why she thinks somehow she knows this man better than I do. But all right, girl, happy for you. Dare I say, you in danger, girl. So Sheena's like, I just want to like continue to see if he's like on a path of like growth, and like if maybe he'll hire a sound engineer for like you, or like maybe for like Brock, or like maybe for Lala. I don't know. Like I feel like there's like so many sound engineers, and like we all deserve them, right? And like maybe he's the one to do that for us.
She's like, can I ask you a favor? Like, I mean, he's my ex-boyfriend. I don't care about his past, and like he's got a path of growth, and I just hope he grows far away from me, and I hope he dies in a fire, and like I just don't need to hear about it. You know what I mean? He does not deserve to be in my presence or breathe the same air as me, and that's not going to change. She's like,
I know, but like, here's the thing. Like, I wrote a song about apples, and he's got an iPhone, which is also an apple, and it's like a sign from above that like we're supposed to be friends again. Because like one time I was hungry, but he didn't even know it, and he offered me a piece of cake, which is not an apple, and I wasn't eating cake at the time, but I did eat it. But I was thinking about apples, so we're kind of best friends now. Do you know what I mean? Do I have your approval?
Honestly, just please don't talk to me about a path of growth, okay? Because I already have a path of growth. It's called a sty that's coming in right now, okay? So I'm focused on that, if you don't mind. So then Sheena's like, yeah, but like, I know it's like hard because you say like no contact, but I also feel like you want like different apologies from him. She's like, no, I don't want him to ever speak to me again. I don't want apologies. Yeah, but like, remember when you said, oh, I apologize for things, you know, I said I apologize. And you said, well, am I ever going to get an apology too? It's like, yeah, but I don't want him to apologize. I just think it just is like beyond him. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but like, I just feel like last night, I don't want an apology. Yeah, but there was a sound operator.
But I'm making him apologize to you in 5 minutes. And she's like, do not bring him over here, basically is the subtext of this. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, but I don't want to ever lose you or compromise our friendship, and I'm always going to have your back. I just feel like I can't run him off forever. He brought me a sound guy.
And Ariana's like, listen, I want him literally never to speak to me. But just because it doesn't mean I'm going to stop loving you, okay? Or that we're not going to be connected anymore. And so they hug.
And Ariana's like, she's like, look, she tells us, I'm going to protect myself, and I'm going to keep myself out of situations that I find hurtful or comfortable. But I never once said that I don't love her, or I'm going to stop loving her, or we're not going to be connected anymore. And then they show a montage of all the times Ariana said, I will not have mutual friends with him.
Yeah.
If someone wants to be friends with him, they're dead to me.
And
now.
dumping Schwartz for it, being like, I will not have mutual friends with him, so we are not friends.
I'm not even comfortable with people talking about the concept of sand because it's too close to Sandoval. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then Sheena's like, yeah, but I don't want to lose you. She goes, you're not losing me. You're my family. By the way, she's not speaking to her brother. I don't think so.
Oh,
this is just a clusterfuck. This is a clusterfuck of a season. And by the way, that fucking Jeremy guy, he writes this text. Not text. Jeremy just texted me. I was like, you better not. He wrote a tweet that was like, hitherefore to out the fans of the Vanderpump Rules, you shall not judge someone based on the character of someone else's statements on the quality of the. What are you even fucking talking about, Jeremy? He's trying to sound smart and like talking Shakespearean English to basically tell the fans to stop bullying him until they know the full story of what happened with him and his sister. He's like, hitherto forth, good people. Be quiet. Nobody cares about you, sir. Okay?
Yeah. So so Ariana and Sheena, they're actually having a very nice moment because you can see right now, just in Ariana's eyes, Ariana sees what Sheena's doing, and even though you can tell that Ariana is probably so annoyed with Sheena right now, she knows what her friend needs, and she hugs her, and she's like, "You're never gonna lose me. You're my family. Like, don't worry." And they have the really lovely, sweet hug. They're kind of like crying. They give a little kiss, and Ariana goes, "You know, me and you, we're warriors, and I don't want you to worry. You're never going to lose me. I can't lose you. You're my family." And then out of nowhere, Sandoval appears, like out of like, it's this really nice moment. And then Sandoval just is like there, and then Ariana's like, bye. And she just bolts out of there. Like, oh,
Yeah,
fuck
because
this.
it's just so obvious, you know? It's like, and there was Sheena to butter her up, and then here marches in, hey, it's me, Sheena, great job, by the way, Sheena, great job. And she just runs off. And he's
It's
like,
also such
Ariana, wait 1 second. Like, she knows what you're going to try and do. It's like,
Yeah, and it's also so dick of him because they're having like a nice moment and he interrupts it, but he's also interrupting it because he wants to talk to Ariana and knows he can have Sheena to help, smooth over things and be a mediator. So Ariana's like, no. So she's strutting away. He's like, no, I just wanted to tell her I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Even though Schwartz already told him, don't tell her this tonight.
yeah. So then Sheena's like, don't do it. She doesn't want to talk to you. It's not happening. I already tried. Okay. I already tried. APPLES. How do you like that? So then Jeremiah is over there like doing wings. And he's like, Ariana, don't do this. Please, it's Jeremiah. I need a job. Okay. Please don't get me fired. And she's like, him fucking walking up on me, talking to Sheena. He's like, I know. Told him to do that. Did I say that? I didn't say that. I don't know why he did that. Why would he have done that? Crazy.
He doesn't give a shit if I died in a ditch or got a fucking deadly STD the way he was fucking around behind my back. That is non-informed consent, and he does not deserve to speak to me. He does not get access to me. So then Sheena's like, so like she doesn't want to hear it from you, Sandoval. Like I told her about our conversation last night, and she thinks that you're performative, like, and that I'm an idiot. So what? You know what's funny? She knows me well enough to know that I'm like not performative, man. Now hold on, I just booked a gig. I'm performing later on this week.
Not performative. You cheated for months with her best friend and lied about it, sir. So Sheena's like, what do I mean to you? So now Sheena's mad because she's like, I just went to bat for you and I got swatted down. And he's like, you mean a lot to me, dude. And she goes, because we're filming or because of life? And he's like, oh, I'm there. I show up, Hassan, look at Hassan.
Don't make me look like a fucking idiot, Tom. I'm like, you were the one on stage just now going, hey, people, I like them. Don't make me look like an
You're
idiot.
dressed like C-3PO, pretending you're Britney Spears at a party for jewelry at Treasure Island. Like, what?
It all kind of feels like a soap opera because they're all like, there's tuxedos and ball gowns, and she's like, huh, don't make me look like an idiot. And then she struts off, and he's like, Sheena, and she just disappears through red velvet drapes in her gold dress. It was like very campy.
And then Billy Lee's there too. She's like, are you okay? Like, what happened? What happened, Tom? Like, seriously, what happened? Are you coming to my show at the Laugh Factory?
And he's like, dude, Ariana's going around saying that I'm not being honest and that I'm performative. You know what it is? Ariana's fucking performative. She doesn't even like any of these motherfuckers, so she can fuck off saying I'm performative.
Oh, wow. So then we cut back over to Jeremiah, and he's like, don't end like this, Ariana. Don't end like it. And she's like, no, it's about a performance to the audience. He wants 30 seconds with the audience. And she tells us, whatever it is that Tom is trying to get from me is not for me. It's for him. I am the final boss in his video game of redemption. And because he can't get to the final boss, he's fucking pissed, which I thought was hilarious. Also, because it's like an inverted Super Mario Brothers. It's like you're playing Bowser trying to get to Mario.
Bowser. Yeah, he just wants the chance to twirl Bowser by his tail. And she's like, he will not touch my tail, okay?
This tail's going to Applebee's.
And it is just such a perfect way of saying it, because the whole season is like having to knock down, all the little bosses. Like, first you get Schwartz to forgive you, and then you get so-and-so to forgive you. Then you have to have that conversation with Katie where she doesn't throw a pan at your head, and then Lala forgives you, and then it's like the final forgiveness. And she's like, no.
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Looking to instantly upgrade your Mother's Day gift from typical to meaningful? Shop Etsy. Get up to 30% off well-crafted and personalized gifts from participating shops until May 12th. This year, embrace your creative side. The side your mom gave you. And shop Etsy for custom jewelry, style pieces, home decor, and extra special items she'll adore. Need something original and affordable for Mother's Day? Etsy has it. Shop until May 12th for up to 30% off gifts for mom. Terms apply.
So she leaves with Dan and Brad and a random girl. and they're going to get a lift. And Sandoval's like, you know what? If you don't want to film with your ex, like, don't be on the show. Like, seriously, don't sit back on like your lazy ass and collect a check for doing nothing. So I like how he is insisting that he's not performative, and yet his argument is like, why are you coming on the show and not performing? Like I am.
But also, why is the definition of da-da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da? I just remembered the Final Boss music. It's the Bowser Castle's music. The Bowser's
Technically,
Castle
that's
music.
just the Underworld
That's
theme.
just the regular.
That's just
the regular
Underworld.
Castle
Bowser's
music.
Castle is like blah 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 blah. Or is that? Or actually, was that Zelda?
Hold on, I'm going to look at Bowser Castle. Bowser's Castle.
Blah 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 blah. I think I was doing Zelda before.
Oh well, there's a bunch of them. Hold on, let me see how this sounds. I'll just.
There's also. There's also, starting in Super Mario Brothers 3, that other castle music, which I always feel like is not very scary sounding. It's like bum bum bum, bum 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 bum.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, that's the ship
dun,
music,
dun.
right?
Huh?
That's the ship when you're on the airship. Dun.
Well, it's also it's just bad music, but it's also one of the Bowser Castle's themes.
Oh yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I don't like that. So Tom's going off about how she's so lazy and won't earn a check. Why does earning a check mean she has to sit there and take your fake bullshit? She's still showing up to shoot this show. She doesn't have to shoot with you. And it's ridiculous that you get to go fuck somebody over and then it's their job to come on and scream at you about it? Or cry with you about it? No, you fucked that up. You don't just have the right to shoot with whoever you want. That's bullshit. If she was just staying at home, that's one thing, but she's not.
Yeah, so Sandoval's now he's furious because he can't have his redemption arc. So he starts, spiraling, and he goes up to everyone and she's like, she doesn't fuck with you guys on the real. She fucking talks shit about all of you guys. She doesn't show up for your shit. She's not gonna come to your thing. I'm gonna come because when push comes to shove, I want autographs. Okay, I'm fucking there, dude.
Okay, let's see. We all know what you've done with Katie. You've been nasty to her for years. You've called basically Lala a hoe how many times, or insinuated how many times? Like, what? Please stop acting like you're some saint and the only person that truly likes anybody. Give me a fucking break with that.
And then he shows up.
Yeah, it's like, I always show up. And she was like,
I know, Tom, I know. You have been there for me. That's why I'm struggling, because you have been a good friend.
He's like, I'm so sorry. I made it hard for you and it kills me. I'm trying to be a good person again, even though I just totally let my mask fall. But I know you have to put up with a lot. I know it means that everybody, she hates you. She's not bad.
Just fucking losing it.
And then Sandoval's like, I know it's going to be like really hard for people who stick by me or like stick up for me. And we see like slow-mo shots of these heroic people like James and Schwartz and Lala who've found it in a place in their heart to forgive Sandoval. And he's like, these people haven't ever. These people haven't even forgiven me. They're just recognizing me as a person, and they're just still going to get a relentless amount of hate for that. And then there's just like all these tweets being like, fuck Lala, fuck James. James is awful. Lala's a piece of shit. Oh my God, she sucks.
Yeah, but also look up tweets from every single season and you'll still find those tweets because that's Twitter. And that's just how the internet works, I mean, they are taking shit for it, but they take shit for everything. And guess what? It's usually consequences of their actions on television that they're taking shit for. And this is another example of that,
Yeah.
So Ariana's people are going to Applebee's. They're like making Applebee's happen, which I like because, I used to work there. I was a good apple until I was a bad apple. And then I was
They're going to eat good in the neighborhood
unceremoniously dropped from the tree. What, Ben?
They're going to eat good in the neighborhood.
So Lala is now talking to Sheena and Sandoval, and she's like, I have my own point of view that I've been biting my tongue because it's very hard to do this, and it's a lot of breaking the fourth walls, so I'm going to do it now. This happened to her. The world rallied around her. And she now thinks she is Beyonce's. And it's bullshit that she can't film with somebody that she stays under the same roof with. It's a lot. It's a lot that she's saying, don't fuck with Tom Sandoval. Don't fuck with Tom Sandoval, but I'm going to sleep down the fucking hall from Tom Sandoval's. I get it. He cheated. You did a really fucking shitty thing, Tom, hot dog fingers. But it was weird how you looked us all in the eye and said a lot of shit. But he did not kill somebody.
Enter Rand for a pickleball hangout day with the boys, please.
I know, and like I'm you know what, I'm gonna go back up there, okay, because this is unfair. And Lala's like, no, she moved on 8 days later, okay, 8 days. I remember, I agree with you. I just want to know that you're like, I want you to know that you're like not alone in this. Yeah, man, like we have to have like tough conversations. It's like not easy, man. It's like I've never in my life's experience someone who gets cheated on and suddenly she becomes God, okay?
Oh God.
And Lala,
Okay.
when that quote came out on the trailer, when that trailer dropped and she said that, and everyone was like, oh my God, fucking Lala betraying Ariana. She went on to Watch What Happens Live and she said, no, I think you're going to see when that happens in the season. Like, I love Ariana, and I think you're going to see in that part of the season the context of it that I was being a really good friend in that moment. Like, I don't.
And she's like, and who knows? People are probably going to agree with me by the end of this. It's like, no. Not really.
Context was exactly what we thought it was.
So we all know that Lala is just bitter because she was hoping to have this whole, victim Lala thing after the Rand stuff happened, and she didn't get it, and Ariana stole her thunder. And I'm just, love her or hate her, I'm really glad that Lala is going to get a chance at a really positive storyline this season with the whole pregnancy thing. That's going to be great to watch on Oh, sorry. Yeah. Those cameras are going to miss that whole thing.
IG Live it is.
Yeah. Amazon Live, get ready for a lot of baby content.
Roku TV, see you there. So, I'm like, Shell Station Gas Pump Television. She's like, I got to get my 10 seconds in. So
she's like, I love filming this show because it's real. And I find it to be tremendously healing. And for Ariana to walk out this way, it's just such a slap in the face. This is what we do. We've been doing it for most of our adult lives.
And so when she says for Ariana to walk out this way, she says it in a way that sounds like she's walking out on the show, right? Because people walk out of a shooting date all the time. Like people leave the set and are like, I'm going home. Like that's nothing new. But here for her to highlight for Ariana to walk out this way as a slap in the face, it sounds like Ariana quit or something. So now we see like all this vintage footage. We see like Lala sitting down for what we assume is her first interview. And then we see Sheena, and everyone's faces look different. And there's like this jazzy, nostalgic song playing that's like, what way you kids? We didn't know anything. And we see Sandoval. Ariana looks like she's 12 years old when she sits down. She's such a baby. And then James looks largely the same, actually, which is kind of funny to me. And Katie sits there and she has this statement necklace. It looks like a piece of metal fell from the sky and splattered on her chest.
But I love that everybody there like, oh my God, look how happy young they are. And then it just cuts to Katie younger going like,
she was still doing the same face. Shorts.
I died. I just think that's so funny. It's like no matter what the face morphs into, it's always.
And we see young Schwartz, who like, oh yeah, that's right, he was a model. And so then we start seeing all.
There was never really any proof of that. Let's be honest.
He did an underwear ad once, right?
And remember it.
Yes, I do, actually.
They were like, Tom, you should do some push-ups and some sit-ups and some starvation. He's like, come on, guys, it's been a while. I've still got it right. They're like, no, Tom.
Schwartz used to do he was definitely in that JCPenney Labor Day sale, commercial, 3 days left for the JCPenney sale. And he's there holding a beach ball. So, then we start seeing scenes from the show from all these years. We see Kristen, we see Stassi, we see everyone, and we see breakups, we see crying, we see fights. It's the show is pausing right now to take a look back at what's happened and watch these lives and where it's gone. And I'm like, are they gearing up for a series finale here? Is that what is happening?
I don't know because they've dropped so many hints. Like Sheena and Lala both just bought really big, expensive houses in the valley. So it seems like obvious that they're going to move there. If it was just Lala, I wouldn't think that that was a huge thing. But Sheena doing it? I mean, Sheena's a beach girl. Sheena's insistent on living at Playa or Marina. So for her to move to the Val is super bizarre. So it seems like they're going to be making a move. I don't know, because this show is still getting great ratings, you know?
Yeah, like maybe is there going to be like a wholesale recast? I don't
know, but you have to think that the producers were in the meetings going, what the fuck are we doing? Like, we had to bring Joe in. Like, Joe's like not even in the cast. Like, we had to bring Joe in to get yelled at by Katie, and we had to try and force another Tom versus Ariana because literally nothing is happening. Like, we're on a cast trip. 2 people went to bed early to watch Housewives in bed and went to sleep with the light still on. Like, what are we doing? They're probably freaking out. Poor Jeremiah's over there, like trying to snort coke off a PA's ass. Like, just keep me going, kid. Just keep me going. Like, they've got to be freaking out.
Yeah, and Lala says, we've all experienced high highs and low lows, so should we show the footage of Rand ordering those chicken breasts again? And there's a responsibility that comes with living your life on camera. You have to be truthful, even when it's extremely uncomfortable.
Oh, really? Okay.
Spider-Man.
Lala, the paragon of virtue over there. And then she even adds in at some point, because this becomes like a 10-minute Lala monologue, which is super weird. Now they're centering Lala as the lead of this show, like the moral compass of this show, which is just fucking bizarre. And they give her this really long slow motion monologue to us, like talking about the lessons of Vanderpump Rules and what it really means to be a reality TV star and what it means to be honest. When Lala has done nothing but fucking lie on this show, what is she talking about? And then she even references, yeah, I've lived untruths on this show once, and I know how painful it was. And then they cut to her lying about banging a married guy when she was dating Rand as the one time that she was ever untruthful on this show. Are you fucking kidding me? You're still spending the whole season like, I had no idea there was a casting couch. What are you talking about? She's done nothing but lie her entire time on this show. Or am I taking crazy pills?
No, I mean, I just, it's Lala.
It's Lala, yeah. And that's her character. It's just so funny that she's building this thing up like, and part of being on Vanderpump Rules is being a truth teller. Okay. Okay.
With great powers comes great responsibilities. And she's like, and I'd lied one single time and it was suffocating. And I don't think Tom and Ariana were ever honest about their relationship until Tom was caught cheating. And you think you get to be honest for one moment and then you get to pack it all away and all is good? Fuck that. And so it's almost like, so now I'm like, maybe did Ariana get fired? Did Ariana quit? Did she get fired? I'm just so confused. I'm trying to like read between the lines here. So now we're back at the party and there's like split screens and we're watching Ariana and her crew taking the longest walk of all time to their lift. I mean, they've been walking for 10 minutes. We've been watching them walk across Treasure Island, across the Bay Bridge to get to their lift. And meanwhile, everyone's at the party and Katie is like, sometimes you just have to like stick to your fucking boundaries. And like, if your peace is more important than that, then fucking stand your ground. And Ariana's like, we all live these difficult parts of our lives on camera. But if it's something that actually really mattered to you regardless, you would do it anyway. And he never tried to call me off camera. He could have written something in a fucking letter on the kitchen counter and I could have read it at my leisure, which is hilarious. She would have thrown it out immediately. We all know. But if you'd only do it on camera, to me, you just showed your true colors.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you have a point. Like when you're only making an effort to apologize, first of all, after Sheena tells you exactly what you need to apologize for is insane. And that you're only willing to do that on camera at a season finale because Jeremiah is trying to make you is like not real, right? So then Lala's acting like she's so emotional now. She's like, well, it fucking happened. I broke. And I promised myself I wouldn't break. And then Ariana drives off in a Tesla. And we just hear, we don't see it. We just hear on the mics. Jeremiah goes, that's the end, guys. And Schwartz says, that was a fucking plot twist. Lala breaking down like that. And the Sandoval goes,
I love it. It's good for me.
like just showing what a piece of shit he is all the way to the very last line. Oh.
Yeah, how insincere. He's like, I got her off the show. But we have to figure it out. And we've seen some clips from the...
Do you think that's what it meant? What do you think he meant? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, I think that's what it meant. It sounded like...
I thought he was talking about Lala breaking down and finally turning on Ariana publicly. Everyone basically turning on Ariana.
It could be all of the above. It's all of the above. I think like Ariana, like Lala saying it, Ariana leaving. The vibe feels like she quit or got fired. I don't know if it's true. She obviously shows up at the reunion. The reunion looks very emotional, and they apparently didn't really see this finale, and they made them watch it at the reunion so that way they could get raw emotion.
Oh,
did you know that?
No, well, Lala keeps saying there was something unprecedented that happens at this reunion. It's never happened before, and it changes everything. And I wonder if that's what she meant.
Maybe that's what it is. They showed a teaser like yesterday that was like them watching, or they saw some of the finale, but not all of it. So now they all watched it, and now they're all like reacting to it. Yeah, they're worked out.
I wonder, because we're watching this early, so we don't know the reaction to it from everybody yet, right? And a lot of times they don't announce anything until after the finale's aired. So I wonder if she did quit or if she did get fired. That'll be interesting if this airs and that happens. I didn't get that impression, but now that you say it, I do.
I'm just going to
start. Because, also I believe in everything. I'm very easily swayed. But
it would make sense why that goes
impression.
on pause. Like it makes sense. Like the pause is, well, aside from the fact that Ariana is shooting Love Island this summer and is going back to Chicago, so she won't be around. But like if Ariana indeed has left the show for whatever reason, they probably are taking this as a moment to be like, okay, let's like this chapter is over, Scandival is over. Let's take a moment to rethink like who's on the show, what are we going to focus on, who are our stars, yada yada yada. So I don't think the show needs to be on pause because nothing is working. I think they needed to have a recovery season from what happened. It was never going to be a super like silly season. For me, the season, I loved it. I was into it the whole time.
I thought it was a good season. I didn't think it was a terrible season. I just think it's, I think that you start relying on these shows. They start relying on the thing that made it big. It's like last season was Scandival, so this season has to be Scandival all the time. Like they think that people just want that all the time, and it's like, okay, it's 15 episodes later into this and you're still trying to make the same conversation happen about an affair that now to us, the audience, is over a year old, and it's just like, stop trying to make it happen. It just doesn't make any sense. Well, but I still like the show. I thought all the stuff that was non-Scandival stuff was actually pretty funny stuff.
It was weird because the second half seemed to sort of move away from Scandival a bit, and then they kind of brought it all the way back again for this finale. But it's fine. I'm looking forward to the reunion.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I just had a fit today because I was like, I can't have another conversation about Tom being a piece.
Guess
I know
what?
he's a piece of shit.
3-part reunion coming your way. We get to go off to Europe in the heat of in the midst of a Vanderpump Rules reunion spree. So that's something that we can look forward to. Anyway, thank you everyone for being here and for listening. And we will catch you. We still have the Valley on Summer House this week. So gird your loins. There's a lot to discuss. Thanks everyone. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
We forever love Ava.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony.
Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
Ring that bell for Rachel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
I love a good parasocial relationship with a celebrity who will probably never know my name.
I mean, honestly, who knows? Don't count yourself out. But my favorite part about these feuds is how they're ignited by the tiniest things.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it.
I accidentally laminated my brows too much.
It starts small and then it gets so big.
To be honest, Naomi, I'm fearful of you to this day.
I don't know her.
We all just have to admit, we're addicted. Everybody has opinions. Everyone picks sides.
Leave Britney Spears alone right now!
From Wondery, I'm Sydney Battle.
And I'm Matt Belisai.
And this is Dis and Tell, where we unpack why we get so invested in these feuds and whether or not our attention only makes the whole thing worse.
Follow Dis and Tell wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Shimol Yai, and I have a new podcast called The Competition. Every year, 50 high school senior girls compete in a massive scholarship competition.
I wouldn't say I have an ego problem, but I'm extremely competitive.
All of the competitors are used to being the best and the brightest, and they're all vying for a huge cash prize.
This will probably be the most intense thing you've ever gone through in your life.
I remember that feeling because I was one of them. I lost. But now I'm coming back as a judge and also a kind of teen girl anthropologist. Because if you want to understand what it's like to be a young woman in America today, the competition's not a bad place to start.
Hopefully, no one will die on stage tonight.
From Pineapple Street Studios and Wondery, this is The Competition. Follow The Competition on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to The Competition early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.